backyarding. I'm not like, you know.
Going up north, Joe, and bought fireworks today. So
Good for
it's
you.
a classic thing to do when you go up north. Well,
There's a law
yeah.
that says you must. They cleared out the field behind us because the state is going to be dumping leftover asphalt in our backyard, basically.
Yeah.
But so now they use it for launching off fireworks. Actually, is a pretty good use of that field.
Well, it's probably not going to burn much down.
Nope. Right, exactly. I think it's a pretty good spot for it. So.
Well, yeah, I have to.
Boy, there's something going on upstairs. Huh. I'm not too worried about it. Is anybody else worried about it?
Nope. Nope.
That's what you're worried about. Is anybody talk to Laura? Is she worried that they're just rounding up random redheads and accusing them of being Russian spies?
Well, only if she's offering sex to politicians by the looks of it. I love that. Did you read the complaint? Holy fuck! Wait a minute. If I grade your papers, you'll fuck me? Wow! Deal!
That's pretty good.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't read the criminal complaint. So, Evan.
No, I'm completely confused.
So they
Okay, yeah,
Monday?
go.
Was it
Yeah.
Monday?
No.
Yeah, Monday.
Because it was the same time during the kerfuffle with the.
Jesus, yes.
So
So
Russia
Monday,
did nothing.
Monday they turns out they. Handwriting on a green print, blah blah blah. Yeah, let's do this.
Are you ready?
Do my best announcer voice.
Do your announcer voice.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's do this. Odyssey. Who's the Lagonis?
Handwriting on a green.
Whoop, sorry.
Blah blah blah. Yeah. There's you go.
Lagunitas.
I get to hiss.
Let's see if they have. Let's see if I can find them on. That's LUG.
I'm holding.
LAGUNITE.
I'm holding. Larry's hand.
Brewing company. Yes. Let's flag this.
Special.
All right.
Wouldn't be the first time we held hands.
Yes.
First time we saw an
It's
IPA
like
together.
little something,
That was
something.
special.
Just a thing.
Good point. It's my birthday. A little something, something would be nice.
I'll give you a little
You
something.
can't bring that kind of stuff up. You just had your anniversary.
He did, so I can.
Where'd you
All right.
find the shoot the bartender game?
What's that?
Shoot the bartender.
I told you.
Where did you find it?
If you look up something called a Chicago Coins ray gun, that's and then there was modifications to the Chicken Sam version. You'll find the shoot the bartender game.
All right,
Just start us out.
We're getting ready.
I'm just tweeting this out.
all right, that's good. 3, 2, 1. Live from the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Tower. It's America's worst gaming podcast, Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yeah!
Oh, wait, I was
that
busy.
mixture's way
Can we-
high.
Can we do that again? I was busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Live from the shithole, it's Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yay!
There we go. Much better.
All right, you'll cut that in outtakes, right?
Yeah.
You totally be cutting that. Yeah.
Ooh. Complaints about the door being open.
Did we? Jeez, that didn't take long. The rest of the office is already complaining
Who's
about
complaining?
it. All right. So,
Can't be
That's
HR,
it.
it's here
The
with
fifth
us.
Is that 6 West? Shut the hell up, 6 West! Jesus.
all right. So, Rob, we probably because I'm kind of looking forward to this one actually. We should probably start.
We should start. Wait.
What should we start? Rob?
Smiling!
Smiling. Yes,
Yeah.
We
smiling.
should start smiling!
Smile.
Oh, you want beer cord.
I do love beer cords. Let me do this.
Ba-da-bum!
Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum.
Ba-da-da.
Beer cord.
Hey, I got the wrong screen on.
That's all right. Close enough. All right. So, what do we have tonight?
And we have Lagunitas.
Lagunitas.
That's how they say to pronounce it on there.
Lagunitas.
Yes.
Lagunitas.
Little something something ale, which as they put on the bottom of the box.
Hey there, Colt.
Hey, Colt.
Sorry.
This special ale is something fairly new under the sun. It's got a lot of wheat. It's rich with hops. It's finished dry. We've watched with some amusement as the internet beer rating system argues over how to classify it. We're in the camp with... I have no clue how to pronounce that name.
Is it written like that? Are you reading it verbatim?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
What?
It says live Amiga 1000, the Amiga 1000.
Yeah, it's probably YouTube, right?
All right,
You
yeah.
haven't updated it yet?
Yeah, it hasn't updated
Don't
yet.
worry.
That's fine. It'll update eventually.
When he declares
Don't
to
worry,
jump
buddy, I've
to
almost
Ray
got it.
Smith that compassions are oddities. You ever notice how everything has to be today's version of yesterday's whatever? Well, whatever. Sometimes we wonder what the world would be like if everything were perceived for what it is and not what it reminds us of. The sun would rise every day as if for the
Now he's just making up.
first
Yeah, no, I was
time-
just going to say, really, no. Oh, my, holy shit, they put a novel on the bottom.
Chapter 2.
Continue.
I might be good, but I am not that good. I'm gonna try and find my place.
Bring a room down.
Yeah, now we derailed him.
Good work on our
The
part.
sun would rise every day as if for the first time you wake, as if it were born. You'd see your lover next to you anew.
Should be good.
The
now.
air would smell like flowers. Work would be like the first day back at school, and beer would make you roll your eyes back in your head in extreme ecstasy. Well, maybe not, but you get the idea.
What the?
Call
Wow.
707-769-4495.
For good
Cheers.
times. For a good time.
Wow, okay. Well, that was an awful lot of work to get to the point where I could
Well,
drink
that's
this.
the end of the show.
Yeah.
So apparently it's weedy, hoppy, and finishes dry.
It's a
Okay.
some. It is it is an ale according to them. Let's give this a try. It's not an IPA. It's an ale.
Well, look at pour it in a glass.
We're gonna have one of us do this from now on, so we can get the open mouth effect.
Yeah, you know,
I
here's
gotta
the problem.
say, to me, it
men
tastes-
drink beer out of damn bottles, cans, or whatever the hell
That's
it
right.
comes in.
Only
You don't
freaking
grab a
hipsters
glass.
wearing their little hair buns drinking out of the glass.
It's not a hair bun yet.
It's not a hair bun.
My grandpa told me if it comes in a bottle, you drink it out of the bottle. If it comes in a can, drink it in a can.
Yeah, be a man.
Your grandpa was
Drink it from
right.
the
Just
can.
drink your damn beer.
You know, okay,
I'm
so
worried about
I gotta
his
say,
loose use of
this
cum.
this tastes like an IPA versus an ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have that hoppy finish.
Well,
I don't feel.
Well, you can smell.
I don't feel
I mean,
the
you're-
dry end where it says.
I agree with you too. It is not. That is not a dry
It's
finish.
It's not a dry finish.
No,
I
that is
agree
not.
with you.
We've had beers that are like a freaking desert in your mouth when you're done. This is not a dry finish.
And I don't mind that. I
No,
mean, maybe they
no,
should
there are times
maybe
when that's
they
fine.
should have not said it was dry,
Right.
but I kind of like that it's not. You know.
No.
Definitely though, if you like sniffing ale or sniffing hops, yeah, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, it's got a hoppy head, too.
Yeah, you know, you as soon as you bring it up, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say this is a lot more like an IPA than like an ale.
It does have a lot in common.
I mean, I'm sorry, an IPA is an ale, but this is more like an
Right.
Indian.
Yeah, I know what you mean,
Yeah,
though.
this is more like an Indian Pale Ale than a straight ale.
I don't have a problem with that for some reason.
And I don't get. I'm not getting a ton of wheat off.
I'm
here,
not either. I don't get any wheat out of it.
You know,
No.
and it doesn't have a wheat color to it particularly
No.
or anything like that. So,
No, it does not taste like a wheat beer.
So I think.
So if you're looking for something like a
Last week's, right? Last week's was a wheat beer, wasn't it?
No,
Last week's?
not that.
oh,
I
that was
remember.
that
Yeah,
raspberry ale.
that
Oh
was
crap! Yeah, no, the
That
week
was
before
a-
that. I'm sorry, I blocked that one.
Correction. It was
I
the
blocked that one
raspberry
from my memory.
shandy.
Sorry.
Yeah, they call
Yeah.
it a raspberry ale. We figured it's
No,
a freaking raspberry
No,
shandy.
my bad. I blocked that experience.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
experience to block actually.
But it is lighter than an IPA. It's not a double or anything crazy
No.
like that. So
No.
if you like an IPA flavor, but you don't want to be overwhelmed, it slips in that.
Okay,
category
but now
pretty
when you say
nicely.
lighter though, its APV is
No,
7.53.
I meant lighter in like
Taste.
punching you in the face, taste wise. Yeah,
Yeah.
taste, not.
Yeah,
you
'cause
you
it-
make it drunk. I don't know.
It's getting you're getting up there on the APV on this one.
Yeah, you may
I guess.
feel it, but
I don't know what the classification of a high octane beer is, but mine is 10.
Well,
or
yeah, when you
above.
start getting there 9, 10, you're getting into the high
What is this
octane
one
beers.
sitting at?
This one's this is
7.5.
7.5.
no, that's up there.
That's up there. I
You
mean,
know, you can notice the difference, and this is a little bit of a side point. You know, like if you're used to drinking like a Pabst or something like that, that's like a 4.9 or something like that. And even some like ice beers tend to be just a little bit more, like 5.6. If you drink those at the exact same pace, like you drink Pabst, a 6-pack at one pace, and you didn't drink an ice, you're gonna be
No, we
feeling it
haven't.
a lot more.
We haven't covered an
So-
ice beer yet. It used to be big. Remember?
Oh,
Years
God,
ago, I
yeah,
was big
ice.
on the ice beers.
I like
Bush,
ice beers.
light, draft, ice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, not that kind of ice, but yeah, I mean ice beers. I definitely was into it for a while.
Like Ice House.
Ice house.
yeah, that's all right, well, let's
Still Violent
let's
Femmes
go.
at the Miller Ice House. Remember that years ago?
That was forever ago, dude. So,
Your beer may suck, but yeah.
I'm
Got a
looking
good
because I
band.
assumed you were there, but I don't think you were there.
No,
for
I
that
wouldn't
one.
have been there.
all right, let's go ahead and pass judgment on this. You know something? I like this. I think it's a
I'm gonna
good.
go with it too.
No, I think it's a good solid beer. It's not exactly again what they advertise it as being.
Yeah.
But they say already there was some dispute whether it was. If you want something along the lines of an IPA, grab this. Believe it or not, it's got a
But
nice
it's not-
hoppy taste.
It's not a crazy IPA.
Right. It's a good solid. This would be like just a good standard IPA. It's got that nice finish. It's not a dry finish. It's definitely got a little bitterness on the end, a little hoppiness on the end.
Probably drink more than one.
Oh fuck yes! But you are probably gonna get a little bit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wanna
slower.
call that number and see what it actually leads to.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh wait, it even says right here. This is now that you've said all that.
Yeah.
This is on their site as well. Way smooth and silky with a nice wheatley-esque-ishness.
I debate that.
So
Truly
they weren't
unique
really
style
sure what to
featuring
do
a
with it
strong
either.
hop finish on a
I think
silky
they just
body.
threw a bunch of shit
A
together.
hoppy pale wheat
Yeah.
ale that is great for an IPA fan, but so smooth for the
That's good.
Hefeweizen fans.
See, I don't get the wheat. The wheat
I
beers
don't
tend to be a little
get the wheat
sweeter,
at all.
and I did not get that part. But no, I will agree with the rest of that. What was the number? 707.
707.
707?
769.
769
4495.
4495. All right.
I want to say what if it's what?
Here, put it up to the mic.
I'm going to hold on. Let me.
Wait, don't you have to ask them first? They like to be on the air. Would you like to be on the air?
Yeah. Well, if they answer it.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be.
It's in California, so they probably no. It's in California. They're probably still open.
And Illinois. It says both. Right?
It's ringing.
It's ringing.
What are you asking him?
Well, first of all, this is a man being on the air.
Thank you for calling Lagunitas Brewing Company, Petaluma. For the Schwag Shop, press 1.
Schwag.
For the Tap Room and Beer Sanctuary, press 2. For security, press 3. To leave a general message, press 4.
You know, I need some
To dial my
security.
name, press 5. And to reach our Chicago location, press 6. Thank you.
Oh, I love the redirect.
Thanks
Yeah.
for leaving us a message. We're happy you're here. Heads up, we may use your message for marketing stuff, quality control purposes, or whatever. Cheers. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, simply hang up or press pound for further options.
Hey, we just finished reviewing your little something something ale. Gotta say, it was 4 thumbs up. Not too shabby. We're Guys, Games, and Beer. That being said, lose the name Schwag Shop, okay? That really sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
You guys have a great evening. Check our show out, Guys, Games, and Beer. You'll see the review.
Oh! Wow. So now we
Free
just leave
advertising.
messages for them.
No, we just leave
That's
that.
how we advertise. One at a time, folks. Personalized advertising.
I'm sorry, Swag Shop? What the fuck? Really?
I like that
Guys, no,
swag.
no. Yeah,
It's some swag.
that's kind of 90s, guys. You really need to come a little bit further forward, okay? All right. So, Rob, what
Here's our
are
shit.
we... yeah, here's our shit shop. All right, Judge Rob, pass verdict on this beer.
Guilty of being a gateway drug to IPAs. I sentence you to
Drinking!
That's
All right.
actually pretty damn delicious. I gotta say, I don't think I've had one here in a while that I've just said,
See, I'm going to agree with them on this one. It is a good gateway IPA.
It is
Yeah.
a good gateway IPA.
That much I'm going to agree with them on. I don't get the wheat in here, though. I just don't.
No.
You know,
No.
we do a lot of wheat beers. This does not have that wheat beer thing. But that whole, this would be, for, like you said, it's not a punch you in the face IPA.
Yep.
It's an IPA that just kind of, got a little hoppiness to it at the end. It's pretty
It's
darn
got a
good.
little-
It's
got a
almost
little
like it doesn't shoot you in the face.
Oh.
It's like it's got a little something, something.
alright, so. Who's gonna butt chug this? Nose goes, suckers. Oh, Ryan's butt chugging it.
Hey, that's
No,
a side point.
that'll be the extras.
What does Deadpool got it wrong? Or doesn't really like indigo, blue, and purple.
He only sees certain colors, apparently.
I don't see colors.
Blood type colors.
Yeah, those in the reds I see.
Wait, who's got the yellow blood?
Urine.
All right, so what are we actually talking about tonight, Rob?
We're talking about light guns today.
Yeah,
like the
All right.
life and times of the light gun.
So literally in the 6-year history of Guys, Games, and Beer, 6 years now? 7 years?
Something like that. It's a 7th recorded Mech Day, so.
Yeah, so darn near 7 years, 6 years, somewhere in that area. We've never talked. Again, we've talked about light guns because we do a lot of displays where we display them, but we really have not had a show based on gun games or light guns, which is a bit odd for us. I'm kind of weird that we missed
We
it.
didn't deep dive.
No, and we are going to deep dive a
In
little
the
tonight on
gunplay.
this.
We didn't deep dive.
So,
in the
and we're
gunplay.
going to let Larry go first because when it comes to light guns,
I don't know if I know the most, but I certainly enjoy it the most, I think.
that's all that matters. When it comes to gaming,
so-
who cares if you're the expert
I
at
probably
it?
have the largest
As lo-
collection.
Camera.
Oh,
There.
that's for fucking sure. You definitely have it. Yeah, as I looked in that camera, you like that? As I look at the camera, that's not the camera that's on right now.
And I think it's a good genre, and it's always been a good genre for me, and I think it's one of the reasons it's still a staple you know, if you go to an arcade or anything like that, and it's still hanging around. One, the controller is not really replicable with, you know, it's not the same feel or not the same thing, you know, as opposed to actually pointing and shooting to, you know,
Using a
doing
D-pad.
this, doing
Yeah.
a D-pad or something like that. It's a different experience. So I think that's it. It's also a very pick up and go situation. You can pick it up, shoot a few times, and you're out in 5 minutes. And that's also something that I think is quick on the draw, baby.
I even shot a few
I'm
times.
so sorry. I tried to hold it in. I really tried to hold it.
I was gonna be okay. And no, you do.
I was trying to keep it like okay, legit here.
I
but-
saw a little bit of
But-
a smile in the corner of your mouth, and I just freaking lost it. I was like, oh shit, he's thinking it too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Hey, well, Larry's playing
And it's
murders
also-
and bank heists.
it's also very simple. You know, it's a simple experience where you can basically pull up anybody and you can pretty much get into the idea.
Vintage gamer.
Of
Hey, Benja!
what you're up to, you know. So and you can you can have little kids, you know, jump in and older adults, and it's just the whole gamut. Then. So that's why it's always been something for me. So I've taken the time to collect a lot of the games, especially the ones that are CRT based. So you know the.
Oh, we're missing a light. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to hit the light behind you there? That's good.
Yeah, wait a minute. Whoa, hey, whoa. Bright lights,
I gave a
brother.
warning. Hit it.
You didn't know I was a gremlin, did you?
You
didn't
just turned it on. You didn't hit it.
I was more of a magpie for a while, but you
Yeah.
know. Sorry.
He said it. Oh Jesus! I cut myself.
So, how'd you do that?
Yeah, it's been there.
So anyway,
It's been a while.
so
It was catching.
as we did a little
I
research
figured
on this,
You were just that badass.
I am.
did you know, like the first light gun games came out in 1930s?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And but the technology that they were
I
using
didn't.
is different than the technology that's in these.
Yes. Okay, because at that point they weren't actually monitoring for scan lines in a video signal.
Well, what the biggest difference is, really, is where's the sensor?
Yes and no. It depended on the system in the 30s.
Wow, that's true too. Okay,
Okay.
so really, in the end, light gun games are about is how do you get whatever you're shooting at to understand you're shooting at it? Because you're not actually shooting at it with a bullet, so you don't know if you hit it or not. So there's got to be some sort of alignment.
Right, but now
to do that.
let's not
There's
narrow
a
it down
couple
just to
different ways to
light
do
gun
that.
games. Let's
Well-
narrow it down to gun games.
Well, I would. One of the original games had a light like a flashlight that would go out, and then the targets
Tubes.
would have the tubes.
Correct,
The
had a
targets,
physical light sensing tube.
Photosensitive tubes would register. Oh, I've seen light.
Correct. Now the problem with those was though.
Well, you could shoot it at a light bulb.
Well, no, not those.
No, that's later on.
Correct. That's later on, and we'll get to that too. We'll get to that too.
Yeah.
The early ones had tubes placed on the targets,
Mm-hmm.
photosensitive tubes at that point that were sensitive just to changes in light amplification. They had some amplification circuit to adjust for, but the problem was you couldn't use. They really weren't best suited for a dark arcade or a dark bar. They wouldn't work well in lighted situations. In fact, they wouldn't work at all in lighted situations because.
Well, they would work well in a bar, but not like in a lighted situation.
Correct. You had to have in a bar or an arcade,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a darkened bar or darkened arcade.
Or maybe
Ambient light.
outside at Coney Island, maybe not good.
Exactly. Ambient light was an issue for the early
Ambient light's an
systems.
issue.
And not just the tube systems. But
Yeah.
now those weren't the only light or gun games of the time. So that was the electronic. Those were guns like, what was it? Ray. God, I can't think of the name of the game system.
Well,
Chicago Coins Ray gun was one of those systems
And,
that.
and I gotta tell you that Shoot the Bartender is one of the best.
Oh, they had some pretty good ones. I'm just gonna say, okay, so this goes back down to if you guys get a chance, and I'm not gonna go into the details. There are some controversial names that go along with this particular system. If you get a chance, look up.
So this is all quoted, and so when you hashtag this out later, we don't need to apologize.
I'm going to apologize now, but
It's quoted.
to get a
It's
better
history.
idea about the history of light gun games, look at some of the ones that came out for a system known as the Ray gun, especially the ones that came out around World War II. They literally had ones where they had Hitler. And
Shoot Hitler.
Yeah, they had a Shoot Hitler game where Hitler
Probably
ran
not
back
super
and forth.
controversial.
You know something? Shooting people in general is
Well, shooting the bartender would probably be controversial.
right. They had a Shoot Your Mother-in-Law game, dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just gonna put it out there.
But that's at about the time when Tom and Jerry had the mother-in-law, you know, in the car, in the trailing
yeah,
thing
yeah.
behind them.
Yeah, I know.
And for the mother-in-law.
It was the 30s and it was the 30s and 40s. But definitely look up some of the games they had. I mean, they had some that were very war-related games that came out. This is Chicago Coin. Chicago Coin did some amazing work.
Yeah, I played one on Coney Island. It was just kind of a fun lighthouse thing.
Right.
And it was essentially, and most of these were designed. They had some sort of deep diorama.
Yeah.
And then you would basically shoot into the diorama.
The games by Chicago Coin, the ray gun games did. They had so basically it was an electromechanical game. Yes, it had the sensors, but it had a whole bunch of movement in the diorama. That, in fact, in the Shoot the Bear game, the dog.
It would probably move and then pop something up, and then it would move again. And
Exactly.
Something else would pop
There's a
up
mechanical dog that's chasing the bear and Shoot the Bear, and the dog is the hit of the show. I mean, the bear kind of just runs back and forth. The dog does all sorts of funny moves as it's doing it. It was made to look comical. It darn looked like a cartoon, basically. So they did a really interesting job in a diorama.
I mean, the one I played in Coney Island was basically like a cityscape. Yeah. And you would shoot things that would appear.
Right.
So, like, there was a guy in a manhole that would come up.
Right.
And he would go back down if you didn't shoot him quick enough.
Uh-huh.
You know, and there'd be somebody that'd show up in the window and
now,
stuff like
was that one, could you tell at that point, was that one a true, like, a light gun game where you were shooting a beam of light at it?
It's hard to tell.
A lot of the games
back then. It did seem to have a hole that you were going for. That would let
then that's possible. So in the 30s and 40s,
it was a mounted
the games weren't infrared at that point. The light sensing was not infrared light sensing, so it was not discriminate. It would pick up any light that would be beaming in, hence the ambient noise. So a lot of the light games you think are light games or gun games at that time were not light games. Most of those gun games you play where the gun is a fixed mounted gun on a cabinet, there's actually a series of switches underneath, and as you're moving that gun around, it's making contact to different positions underneath, and it knows where the gun is by what contacts you're activating underneath it. It's not even right. They're not even like potentiometers. It's not like an XY movement. It's literally a series of contacts underneath there that you are running this brush across as you move the gun over the thing. Most of the early gun games were like that. The ones that used light were actually revolutionary because they were doing something completely different.
Well, it's hard to tell because some of the early light games that were legit light games, they mounted. They put them on a thing. So maybe there is and it's like, oh, is there a sensor down there or is there not a sensor down there?
Right, there are a few. You're right. There are a few where the gun was mounted like that, but there's still nothing underneath it. Yeah. They just did it because that was the style of the time.
Yeah, and no one runs away with your gun.
True, you don't have the chains and other
now,
issues.
like at Disney, they have a really large, it's one of those, and Coney Island has one of these too, but it's much smaller, where the diorama is essentially a room, an entire room. The one at Disney is probably 40 by 20, something like that. And the one in Coney Island is probably 10 by 20.
Right.
And that where you could pick the gun up.
Yes.
And you are shooting.
Right.
And it's not an air gun. It's not air.
Right.
And it's not shooting it. Those are
light guns. Those have to be light sensors.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Hi, Tegan.
Hey, Tegan.
Hello. So I think the ones at Disney and that one I'm describing at Coney Island are the light guns where there's a light sensor on, and then they do some sort of animatronic thing or something in reaction to, hey, you hit this.
Right.
You know?
So yeah, and that's a good way to tell the difference between the early ones. If you have an early one where it's a fixed gun, I've got to tell you right now, more than likely that's using the contact system. But if the gun's on a chain where you can lift the rifle up, then it's one of two light systems. It's one where it's broadcasting the light out, where the gun shoots a beam of light to in the earliest cases, some kind of a tube that picked up the light hit. In the later cases, it was what's called a CCD.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that
charge
that
couple
technology
device.
got better.
Right.
And they just,
In the 60s, they were charge couple devices. We used to call them, God, what do we call them? Electric eyes.
Right.
In the early days, they were
like
called electric
Judas
eyes.
Priest would.
Yeah, exactly. They were literally, it's a charged couple device. So anytime a photo beam hits it, it releases a small charge. And we picked up that voltage, and that's how you did it. But that was like those didn't come around.
And that's why that would actually send something into doing something.
Correct.
Ah!
Those didn't come around to the 60s.
Almost like a shock.
Yeah, those did not come around to the 60s.
So I'm wondering, I played a game similar to like this at the Wisconsin Dells as well as Six Flags. And they had it where you pick up the gun and it feels just like an actual like BB gun. You pick it up and you point and you got like people that have targets that have little red dots on them. You pick it up and you shoot that and you can like see where you for just a brief second
flash of light.
Yeah, it looks like you took a laser pointer and just quick like.
And I think
for
most
a
of those are
fraction
still
of a
those
second.
kind.
That would be the CCD type, the electric eye type, where that little target you're aiming at actually has an electric eye in it. Again, you look up old CCD electric eyes.
They're a wee bit more accurate, though.
They're much more accurate
well,
than
yeah,
the
I
tube
think-
versions.
Whenever you hit something, it would always have like some reaction. Like you hit the snake that's in a boot, the snake would literally pop up, or the hat would come.
The
up.
electromechanical ones like that were absolute genius.
Well, and I think a lot of those styles probably still stay. Like if I was going to build it, I'd probably still build it that way. If you're interacting in the physical world, I think you're still better off with a light. But now, when you're trying to mimic the same experience on a television, it's not like you suddenly can put all these little dots in your television.
Right, but the TV.
So now you got to figure out
the TV has an advantage.
how do you mimic that experience of this, shooting gallery on a television when you don't have the ability to just go, I'm going to put a sensor here, I'm going to put a sensor here, I'm going to put a sensor.
Right.
Because Disney's got them all over the place. Half their rides are those kind.
No, they really are, exactly. So, when it came to bringing it home and actually putting it on your home TV, this was the very first home one. And they did the early development for this in the late 60s. It didn't come out to home until the 70s. This goes back...
Before we jump into that, real quick, as far as the technology of moving around, most people know crossbow was one of those sensor ones.
Right. Where it actually monitored the movement on your crossbow.
Cheyenne.
Right.
And as late as T2.
What's T2? Did that really monitor the gun movement?
Yes.
Is that why I could never hit anything?
Probably. That makes sense.
They got to be calibrated.
Yeah, they do.
Or they'll be off.
Wow, I did that.
I always said that.
See, so
I always said that about that damn
So
game.
here's the thing about T2. If you guys don't remember T2, you had like an Uzi you were holding. The whole thing about T2 is it was actually a video game where evidently it's monitoring your XY movement on the gun.
Cheyenne was a video game too.
Yeah, I know, but wow, that's
we did that
they were
at
still
Disney,
doing it
remember?
that late.
We were playing it at
I didn't
Disney,
realize that.
complaining about it.
Gypped it out of $5 as a kid.
Yeah, I do too now. No, I always thought those had.
Well, I bet they put them
Well,
off.
yeah,
on
I mean,
purpose.
how often did the guy working it, like, go calibrate it?
Never. That was the problem. So
Anyways, okay, so on to one of the first, or the first, you'd say?
this is the first home video game shooting gallery gun. Okay, so this and you guys know we've talked about the Odyssey before.
Okay, so
on
you
the
got
right
this
one.
on that camera, right?
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
all I
the
have.
right camera.
Oh, wait,
so you
wait.
guys have, we've talked about the Odyssey before, the very first home video game system. Well, it was also, because it was the first home video game system, was also the very first one to have a light gun. Now, the light gun was actually developed on the brown box
It's
before
over there now.
Odyssey. You really did that, didn't you?
Yep.
I hate you too.
Now,
He wanted to
now
shut the
you
box.
turn it around and shoot it at
All
that
right.
camera.
So,
You are such a dick, Larry.
I really hate you.
Oh, the camera game. It's the
Okay,
best
we'll put
game
the
in
camera
town.
away. So back in the day, because guns were guns back then, this was 1973, 72. This was the very first home video game gun.
Is that pump action?
Boy, that came loose. I gotta fix that. Just this one.
Yeah, point it
If
at
you
the
look at
face.
the very end of it, has a
Kids, don't do
just
that with any other
literally
gun.
a magnifying glass in the end of it. There's a CCD, a charge couple device at the end here, a photo cell.
How did Tom get shot by the LA Police
that-
Department? Well, he was on a
No,
podcast in
and that's why they
Wisconsin.
don't make them like this anymore. And in fact, by the 90s, they'd stopped making guns that looked like this because they
Except for
don't
the
know-
Chinese, who still
Right.
make them today.
Yeah, that's true too. So literally, this one
Got the old yes.
you had to actually, yeah, you actually had to pump this one like a real shotgun. But here's the thing with a gun like this. Unlike the later ones we're going to talk about soon, I could point this at the lights in the ceiling and pull the trigger, and it would think I was pointing at the target. What this one relies on is not what we'll talk
Well,
about in just a bit
let's just clarify this because this is true in both versions. The sensor is in the gun instead of on the target.
Correct. That's a good point.
And so this is where the
Right.
transition happened. How
Right.
do you get to
Yeah.
to know what you're shooting at
In-
when you can't set up the targets over here?
Right.
You have to somehow let the gun go, oh, this is where you're at.
Right. In arcade games, at the arcades, the sensors are in the actual receiver.
Yeah.
The gun was basically just a beam of light that you shot.
Right. Flashlight,
Flashlight, yeah, basically.
more or less.
Little, like he was just saying at the Dells, little bright flash or whatever the color light was, and it would light the target up, and that would set it off. These, you can't do that when you're pointing at a TV set, because the TV has no way of just sensing where you're pointing. So what they did in the very early ones is they put a photocell in here, and the photocell is basically just a little charge couple device that releases a small electrical charge when it sees light. Well, the problem is I can point to the light, pull the trigger, and it would think, hey, I'm pointing at the bright light on the screen. So this was not the best system for doing it. You had to keep people from cheating with this one. But it was the very beginning of this.
And if you wanted to play
Well,
fair,
I
it
mean,
was cool.
it's still amazing. Okay, and here's where I always get, and you're going to help me out. I vaguely understand a couple of the concepts, and they're really kind of, I don't want to say hard, but they are kind of hard, like, to understand. So you pull the trigger, and the TV, now is this the version that is starting to understand the scan lines and where it stops? And it's going, okay.
No, there is no scan line detection in this at all. This is strictly photoelectric,
Okay.
where it generates a small electrical charge when it sees light.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
Any light. Did not care if you're
have you
pointing
ever,
at the TV or
you
not.
never,
Right, so
you
it's
never
really
recorded one
looking-
and slowed it down and watched it
So
frame
when
by
you
frame?
when you
That's the trick to
click it,
figure
so
it
there's
out.
a big square block on your television, and it's going like this, and you click it, it will be brighter than the rest of the things around.
Right,
it.
Right,
that's
exactly.
why the
So,
screen flashes.
it would
It goes
know.
black for a second.
It would
For
know.
just less than a second, it goes
Yeah.
black,
Well,
and
it's
then there's
already
just that
black.
white screen.
The only thing that's there is the white.
Yeah, but I mean, even like Duck Hunt.
Now he's
No,
talking about
Duck Hunt
scan
is-
line.
No, I'm talking about scan. That's scan
Okay.
line. This is where it's actually like, oh, I'm tracking this,
This
and I
big
pull the
bright
trigger,
object.
and basically what I'm saying is, take a picture right now.
Oh, no. It's just...
And then if it sees light, it goes, oh, okay, that was light there.
No, it's just basically, is there light anywhere in my field of vision right now?
Right.
I mean,
At the moment I pull the
But
trigger.
it's-
Correct.
Its field of vision is like this.
Correct.
Right.
It's got.
And
It's
so
got
you
a
had the
small
big square
collector.
box.
Yeah.
And so I'm tracking it with this, and I pull the trigger, and I basically say, at this second, are you seeing light?
Yes. Exactly.
And if I'm not, I missed. If I'm seeing some kind of light, and like you said, if I go like this and shoot it at the screen, I would see light, and
Yeah.
so therefore
Yeah.
it would work. That
It's
is
epic.
the very simple idea of how that one works. Now, but that's kind of inaccurate, or kind of I mean, you have the cheating problem, and it kind
Oh
of
no,
works.
it's terribly inaccurate.
Well, and it probably requires a large amount of light and a large amount of blank space.
Also,
so it works
again, goes back
pretty
to
good on a
ambient-
black and white.
Right, it did, and ambient light was an issue.
But now you
Okay.
get a color light and you want to duck.
You had to use it
You
in
want to
darker
shoot a
room.
duck, or you want to shoot bad guys.
Well, that's a whole new issue.
Some of them are black, and like maybe they're in their zoot suit, their black zoot suit, but some of them are in their white zoot suit, and you want to shoot both of them.
And how do you do that, Larry?
So if you notice when you're shooting these games, it always feels like, especially if you're not actually playing, it's a little less noticeable when you're actually playing. But there's always a flashing. right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's always a flashing that's happening. It's like click, flash, click, flash, click, flash. Well, that stops the screen essentially. So now I'm going to ask you to take over. On
All right. So the way but televisions worked during the early days of video
They
games.
scan.
Right, correct. It's drawing the picture one line at a time.
Yeah.
It starts at the top and works its way down.
And it does it fast enough that
Correct.
it looks like one picture to you.
60 times a second.
Yeah.
Or 50 if you're using a PAL
Yeah,
system.
right. So it's doing it
60
so
times a
fast,
second?
but it's still going.
But
Okay.
technically it's going
It's
dot dot
basically-
dot dot
it's a
dot dot dot
typewriter.
dot
It's a
dot
typewriter.
dot 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 dot
It's a
dot dot
typewriter.
dot dot. Right. There's an electron beam shooting at the screen, going across like this, and each time the electron beam hits, depending on how the field is charged, depends on the color, the combinations of color make a picture.
Well, against the phosphorus. Getting
Right.
into TV
But,
technology here.
yeah,
And
but,
then it
but
fades.
even before that,
it fades
it was
at
just
some point.
it was just a white dot, so
Yeah.
you had black and white,
Yeah.
just depending on the intensity, set the level of brightness or grays. So,
There. I got a freeze frame right now of Duck Hunt.
oh, good, excellent,
And you
excellent.
can see right with the moment when the block appears. See, here we go.
Oh no, it'll come up on mine in just
Okay.
a second.
Yeah, that's about.
No, I'm not
we're gonna
doing.
wait
I'm not showing it
now.
on screen. I'm totally hiding.
Oh,
it.
you are totally hiding it. Right.
You see the second here? Boom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's Duck Hunt. But a second
So
later,
basically, it freezes
screen will
the
be driven
screen,
over it.
Right.
redraws it all
I'll
black,
cut this out and I'll put it on
and
screen.
just
Hold on.
and it freezes it, redraws it all black, and just covers the place where you're at.
Correct.
So you've stopped it, so to speak,
Yeah.
and you said, "All right, so I'm drawing the
Is that really
line,"
how this
and I click
works?
it. It goes, "You're here."
That's how that one works. Not
And
all
that
of
is
them.
how that one works.
Not all of them. There
That-
are different.
that
There
is how
are
that
different
one works.
different types of light guns. As
But that's
well.
what I was talking about with Duck Hunt. If you slow it down, you'll
You can
see
actually
the dot.
Right. Some of them you can't see.
You
the
can
dot.
see. I can usually see the dot.
Some
I
of
Yeah,
them
you can
see-
usually. Yeah.
I can usually see.
Yeah,
it.
that one. But some of them you can't see that dot.
Yeah, I mean,
Some of them really are
well,
relying on the
and one-
scan position.
Also, that's why when it would flash, the space around the duck would always look brighter for
Right.
Yeah.
For a moment.
because it's essentially white.
Right.
Hang
Well,
there,
assuming
folks.
you-
We're going to talk about
assuming
this
you-
for another second. while
I always
Assuming
wondered
you
about
shot.
that.
Yeah.
Assuming you shot.
But now that's using again the CCD to pick up the bright spot on the screen.
yeah,
Right.
It is. So it still hasn't gotten different than that.
Correct. Now there are different types of light guns though.
No.
So like the ones on the PS1 and the
I
PS2.
think if you grab the old
ah,
Amcon there,
yes, here you go.
this guy's gonna
Hey.
do things differently.
no.
Correct.
This guy's gonna do things.
So this
differently.
one is where is the scan line on the video currently
Yeah. that's why
versus
you have-
where I'm aiming at.
Right. That's why you actually have that secondary input where you're actually looking at the video screen
Right.
and it's doing the calculation.
So this one's not looking for a bright
All right,
spot.
one
on the
second,
screen.
because I just got
It
this
still
on the
does the
screen.
flash.
Yes, but
because
in a
it
different
pauses
way.
the screen.
But
Hold
in a
on just a
different
second,
way.
because I've got the actual
Finally,
picture
the
we were
Duck
looking
Hunt,
at.
and now we moved.
I know we switched topics
So
too
there's
fast. So
Duck
I got the
Hunt.
picture of there's that little
Oh
block
yeah,
that I
yeah.
was talking
There's
about.
the
Yeah.
block
See on
where
the
he
screen.
throws
That
the
works
screen.
like the old-fashioned stuff. That
Correct.
is
It's very similar to
so
what the
that-
Odyssey
that is
did.
the Nintendo. That is the Atari.
The
that's
Master
the Sega.
System, the Sega
right.
Master
Now let's
System.
talk about why that isn't working on LCD.
Okay.
All right, because
Technically.
it's still relying on scan lines because it relies
Well,
on the
it's
redraw.
relying on the draw.
On the
And the
redraw.
draw is not fast enough for it to get in between these, so it misses.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to elucidate on
very
because
nice.
that's the question.
Because
we
it
get.
sure seems like what? Why can't it pause? the
Right,
screen,
exactly.
give me my
Exactly.
life?
But
Yeah.
but believe
That's
it or not,
fine.
I know everybody's always thinking digital's faster, but no, not in this case. That scan line
That
goes
was
just so
interesting.
freaking fast.
I've
next
never,
to it.
I've never,
way
I've
faster.
never
That's the
experimented
speed
with
of light.
this. Well,
Well, all right, it's
and it's based on a fixed cycle.
yeah, it's
right?
really fast.
It's based on.
Oh yeah, and you can figure out.
It's a
Well,
fixed
it's a go,
cycle,
right.
because certainly a plasma redraw is fast enough.
Yeah, I've never even.
600.
You know,
You might
opposed
can
to
you
I've
set
never
it?
tried it on a I've never tried it on a plasma TV. So.
But a plasma TV.
You know, I might have to take
certainly
that
draws.
back because that is true.
The plasma will
I don't know
redraw.
if plasma would work because it's.
Okay.
What's it doing with the
But-
green?
but-
It's just
well,
viewers-
what plasma
Viewers,
doesn't
if
do-
any of you have tried a light gun game with a plasma,
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, let me go with well, let me redefine that with like a NES light gun game with a plasma.
Here's why I
because
believe-
scan lines are important here.
Here's why I believe it doesn't work. Because you don't draw the screen that way.
In scans, it's full picture right
It's,
away.
I light up this.
Right. And then I light up that.
this.
Right. You're not
I light
scanning
up
down.
this. I light up this.
Yeah, but what's it care? The eye, that eye's not looking.
So
it's
the
only
on the
looking for a light
NES,
spot.
on the NES, it's not so much worried about the scan.
Right, it shouldn't care about the scan
Unlike
lines.
the PlayStation.
But I understand why it would be too slow to do it on like an LCD screen.
But not
But
necessarily
what about
on
a
the
plasma?
NES.
600.
But don't forget, you're pressing.
I mean, it throws the timing off though.
and the screen doesn't sing. There was still input lag.
On the
Plasmas
plasma.
and LCDs.
Oh, that's a good point. Plasma.
So you
had
might push
input
the
lag.
button. The screen's not getting refreshed
It-
until after you shot.
No,
See,
well, the plasma's faster than a CRT.
But it still has
Correct.
input
But
lag.
it still has input lag.
So like, even though you're getting however fast.
Its
hertz,
display capability is okay, but the actual input
What about in
lag.
game mode? That's
Well,
it. We gotta do an
and-
experiment on this.
Well, and here's what's interesting.
We're fighting
now,
like idiots about this.
and I know this is we're like derailing, but
A little
we're
bit,
throwing
little bit.
ideas.
No,
man.
this is
We're
about
just
it.
brainstorming now. But maybe that whole cycle and timing is what's throwing off. So I modded.
Hey, George.
Those who watch the show, I did with the help of my friends. There you go. The
George.
the
Your
help
tags
of
are
my
ready.
friends. I modded a 7800 to instead of using the RF, it uses the RCA
composite.
jacks or composite.
Yeah.
Throws the gun off. I can't hit anything on that machine.
So it's all about the timing. It's
So
not
it's
even
all
about.
so there's got to be there's a timing to it. It's
But
gotta
I would
be
say
right.
again, the problem with a you
So
did
I
it
think
before.
there's two things there.
Correct. I think part of it is a scanning issue. So again,
there's a scanning.
remember that old pictures were built line by line. New pictures are not built line by line. They're built as complete pictures.
I can
on the
understand
screen.
that on the SNES stuff, but I can't really understand that on the other because it's just simply looking for light. It doesn't care how it was drawn. It
Well,
just
that's
it
why
just
it's not
sees the
actually
dot.
there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not
But
there.
the timing, I understand. Maybe it's not there yet, or maybe it got there too soon. It's
Right.
bad,
Yeah.
maybe it's
Either
not
way,
sick,
too soon
right.
or too late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
So there's a couple components that are probably happening there.
Right.
because this goes back in
And
time.
that's why I said that Leica games on a television are both simple and complex.
So a PAL based game wouldn't be able to work on a U.S. television either.
Well, we're
No,
gonna
I mean, you can't anyway
find
put a
out.
light gun.
We're gonna find out whether or not that's actually true because I'm gonna buy one in the very near future.
We're gonna test it.
You know, it should
Ghost.
still work.
Laser Ghost, I'm gonna
Because
buy.
again, it's the position of the scan line versus when you pull the trigger.
Yeah, but if there's a timing issue, you're operating at different timing. If you're talking NTSC versus PAL,
Correct.
you're talking different timing completely. Now, if it's HDTV, it doesn't care.
Right, and
But-
it's also on old TVs. It's not that big of a difference.
So-
it's only a small difference, a small variation.
We'll be able to run that experiment.
Yeah,
We're
560
well,
versus
hell, let's
five-
just run
because-
this.
Because I'm going to buy, so Laser Ghost only came out in the European market and the Japanese market. And, I mean, a haunted house is it's just so perfect. Why they thought American audience didn't want a haunted house gun game, I don't even know. But it was for the Sega Master System, right?
Awesome.
And the Master System is... The system itself is irrelevant to NES and PAL. So all games can run
On all systems.
all
Right.
systems.
So they run.
So I'm curious whether or not it may run,
Mhm.
but it may not be successful with the gun.
Right.
Yeah, because it's
Because
gonna
the
run
TV.
slower.
Yeah.
It's going to run differently.
Yeah,
Well, it's
absolutely.
faster technically.
Wait,
It's fast.
Because we're
More-
60,
Yeah, I'll run
we're
faster.
60,
More lines.
they're 50,
They
right?
Have, right. They have more lines.
And it's based on electricity.
Right. The cycle.
Right.
We learned that a couple weeks ago on this show.
Yeah, we talked
Did
about
we?
this. Yeah, we talked about the.
I completely
electricity.
forgot 50 versus 60.
I fished that one. I can't fish that one.
All right. Good. All right. But yeah. All right.
Larry
Okay,
caught it. Larry
so-
caught that, and we're getting a blank look.
We could go down this. God, we're going down to the
Not that
rebel
one.
site. All right.
So anyway,
I don't know what catfish
so the
is.
transition.
Oh.
So we've had the
Oh.
mechanical, we've had the direct light, then we've moved to the
Scan line.
the capture
So
of
that's
the
where
white
you get the
light.
liquid from me.
Now
You
we're
don't
on
get what
to
you
where
ordered.
it's actually
Gotcha. The
understanding
scan line.
You
positioning.
don't
Right.
get what you ordered.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
the system understands the position on the screen, by where the scan is. It understands what objects are where by the scan.
Right, and that changes what you can actually shoot. So, you know, whereas most of the things you were shooting were actually fairly large, you're starting to get into a smaller and smaller hole.
Yes.
Where you're going to go, oh, I'm going to shoot this little teeny 500.
Somebody had to laugh.
By 500 pixel, right.
You know, this
Oh, I laughed
little,
at
this
that
little
one.
500 bullseye,
Yeah.
you know, on this big target.
Better accuracy.
Yeah, so
Right.
you get this accuracy that's
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
Still,
So-
again, we're still the sensors in the gun.
Correct. You still have to have the sensor in the gun. There's no way for feedback from the other end. Now, the feedback from the other end does come along, but not.
In this case, there is a little bidirectional because it's actually it's starting to understand.
Right. It's reading the composite video signal to know where the gun reads the composite video signal. Even though it's still using an optical detector here,
Yeah.
it's saying, okay, so where is so.
Where's it in relation to what I'm seeing
All right,
right
so
now?
again, what a TV does, old school
As
TV
opposed
does,
to-
has what's called a sync signal, and it did that by at the beginning of a picture. There'd be a signal that was I forget how many volts would jump up and come back down again. That told the TV to jump to the top to its 0, position and start running the scan line down. That's called the sync signal. So by knowing the timing, 50 cycles versus 60 cycles, or NTSC versus PAL, it would know how long it would take for that signal to get to any point on the screen. So if I know the sync signal, which will come through on here, and I can read
That's pretty damn impressive.
read
really.
the sync signal and say,
Yeah.
okay, now if I wait 10 milliseconds, it'll be at this position on the screen. So the gun waits 10 milliseconds, and if I hit that spot on the screen, at that point, it knows I've got the right point, optically and by timing.
Plus better accuracy.
So
Much better
Much
accuracy.
better.
Versus the earlier guns.
Versus the earlier ones, and there were still guns that had those. Now you had said the NES, the SNES did it differently too.
I said that, huh?
Yeah, you probably didn't know you even said it. So the SNES was starting to move in this direction, where it's actually starting to understand.
Right, it's smarter. Right.
It's smarter. It's starting to move.
Hey, George.
Oh, I thought you were going to say boy, I got to tell you, everything we've said is crap. Let's start over.
No.
Well,
But that's okay.
I
too.
just bothered to
No.
look this up instead of talking out of my neck based on my faulty memory.
Old school gamer revelation, and I'm old, but I'm not that old.
We are.
But, so you're saying that I could have taken that gun while playing Duck Hunt and just been like, hey, I bet I can shoot more than you can.
And put you to a very bright
And
light.
just pointed at the ceiling light and just been like,
Yes,
bam, bam, bam,
but
bam, bam.
here's the thing.
Uh,
Back then, you were gaming right next to the person, and they would punch in the TV.
No, I do believe again.
I think they had-
I still
there
want to
was
say
some
it knew the timing issues of the sync.
Didn't know
might
it?
have known that.
Right, but it knows it from the fact the system sent out the sync signal, and it knows where the light was at any given time. Hence the
There
reason
were some.
you still had to
some-
be close.
Oh no! You know what? I'm not sure it does.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
think
the
it
NES does.
does. Yeah, the NES does.
I-
It still is using the sync
I
signal.
think the NES might.
No.
All right, so next weekend class is going to be
No,
experiment
NES
with light guns.
NES still used the sync signal. It knew the
No,
general
I
position.
don't think you're right on that. I don't think it's totally.
There's our, yeah, no. That's light bulb or the white paper trick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it still works. It still
I
works
know,
on the
it-
NES.
Well, you gotta figure, remember, this thing's, it's an 8-bit system.
And
It's no more
okay.
advanced than your Atari
Now I kind of
7800.
feel like I have a useless skill that I
That I developed!
that I developed to be able to sit there and be like, and bam, and never miss a duck. I could have just been pointing it at a light or a piece of paper.
Yeah, evidently.
It does have to be some.
See this? I'm not even gonna shoot it. Now I'm gonna. That's how good I am. But to be fair to the experience,
I still love the
would,
game.
the experience would suck. So.
I still love the game, and still, anytime it's hooked up, we'll sit there and be like,
What?
yeah, watch me.
It determines which one was hit by the duration of the flash. As each target flashes for a different duration.
Oh.
That's freaking amazing.
That is
So
interesting.
duck
That's why you
1
can't just.
Yeah.
would flash a little bit
At a
longer
different
than
range.
duck 2 and 3,
Okay.
and it could measure it by that.
Well,
That's
that's why you
freaking
can't- well,
amazing.
Okay, now I
Right,
feel
'cause
vindicated.
duration changes.
in
Well,
my
you
own
are
skin.
vindicated.
all of that happens basically where we can't see it.
Correct.
More or less. You know,
Correct.
It's like,
In between frames.
Yeah, in between frames. So
That's very interesting.
seeing is not believing.
So-
I'm just telling you that now. Seeing is pretty good.
So it is not possible because of that. However, it would theoretically be possible if they weren't measuring it that way. In other words, the gun itself is no smarter than the light gun you used on the Atari 2600.
Or the
Odyssey.
Magnavox
Right.
one.
Right. However, because they were smart enough to know the duration,
So it's measuring duration.
that's
not
how it did it, and that's why the light bulb trick will not always work. It
Not
may
always.
work for one target on the screen, right?
But
It's the
I mean,
longest
really,
target,
the GunCom it changed.
you might hit something.
The
GunCom
GunCom changed it with
Right.
the whole sync thing, and that really changed.
We really should have just broke this into 8-bit and
Yeah.
16-bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
well,
could've-
and then you got to move on to you gotta move to so the '90s were sort of the golden age
Of gun games.
of light
Oh
gun
my
games, 'cause
God,
there were so
yes.
many wonderful gun games.
Virtual Cop.
the Virtual Cop,
Time
and a lot of these worked
Crisis.
on, and that's
Oh,
where you're
Time Crisis.
Time Crisis, where you're actually instead of just being on a rail, you have some control.
God, yes.
And then you start to move on to the next GunCon that actually has a D-pad on the back, so you can actually move your character
Yeah.
in whatever
Yeah.
direction, so you're not even on a rail. You know what hit the light gun game hard? Come on, this is an easy trivia question.
First
For
person
the
shooters.
I think we all knew this.
First person shooters kill it. Back then.
Columbine.
Oh.
Really?
Columbine shot
I thought
gun
maybe
games.
first
In fact, I know this for a fact that there were planned
School shooter games.
Sega. No, there was not. There was not. There was not. Planned.
There are nowadays, though. But that's a whole other issue.
There was not that. No, there were planned shooting games for the Sega.
Genesis?
No. Think later.
Saturn.
Later.
Dreamcast?
Dreamcast. Yeah.
The Dreamcast had amazing shooting games.
No, it
though.
only had a couple. And
Yeah, but they're amazing.
But they're fine.
Yeah.
But most
were
of the
more.
ones that were planned were abandoned
Really?
because of Columbine.
I did
Yeah,
not know
that
that.
was when. I mean, if you think of it in American history, it was
Yeah, no.
like
I mean,
basically
oh
the
my God,
first
that was,
event.
Yeah,
It
that
was the
it.
Sentinel event.
That is, the Sentinel event. So.
And so there was a lot of reaction to it,
I didn't
and
realize
so
Sega
they
killed a whole bunch of
shut
stuff.
down most of the gun games. And as time went by, as people tend to forget things in not recent history, the gun games started to come back, and they started to get the arcade games were still pretty strong, and but the Dreamcast completely lost its library to what would have been if they had actually. And in fact, there are a few titles that were only released in like Japan because they weren't going to release them here.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they
Mad
had some
Dog
titles.
McCree, that's all I have to say.
Well,
It's
I
not-
was
I
saying,
can't
Mad Dog
list this.
McCree.
I think
Philip
about Mad
CDI.
Dog.
That's a
CDI.
whole that's a whole category too.
I thought it was
Yeah.
motion video
The-
shooters.
FMV.
Yeah, that's all.
No,
That's all the shooters
That's
that
right.
matter.
That's a
That's
whole other
laser
issue.
games, and I'm gonna
Oh,
throw.
they were
Because then you're
amazing.
shooting real people.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw a plug in there for that is Ty of Lords of the Tridents, one of his favorite gun game genres.
Jesus.
Laser.
I wish I
gun.
knew that. Actually, no, because mine's not laser. I've got Mad Dog. I got Mad Dog Decree for the Philips CDI.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that damn.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mine.
You literally bought a gun that came with that one. That one was a
I
standalone
had it on
for
the
the Philips
PC. It
CDI.
was a
Mine has to be Time
Wonderment.
Crisis 1, but it had to be the arcade. And I don't know, I have seen it in other arcades where they have it where the actual slide would work.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that-
yeah.
The game store that I played
really
at,
good.
they
For the
actually
reload?
had
Yeah.
the gun slide that worked, but then they actually put a chunk of metal, like, on the gun
Yeah.
to actually give it proper weight.
Give it some head. Boom.
Yeah, give it a little help.
And have it be so that way you actually have to have
Work
it,
on holding it.
You have to actually hold it
Holy
properly,
crap,
and
they made
then
it for the Wii.
as it's sliding,
What?
I don't know if they put
They made it
weight
for the Wii.
in the slide as well.
Yeah.
Because it actually felt as you were
I'll put up
doing
with
it,
this
it
crappy
would
gun.
rock back
Yes.
so that way if you pulled
Wait,
and
there's
it
one for the Saturn,
knocked
huh?
upwards,
Recoil.
you missed.
Okay, now that's an
Yeah,
interesting point.
recoil.
Recoil is actually recoil's been around since the 30s. A lot of the early video games
Well,
that
they
do
were
is
electrical mechanical.
correct.
So they were already doing
so they
mechanical
literally
stuff.
on the early video games they would put intentional recoil in it. So you literally had a recoil on it. They put a 120 volt coil in them of all things.
What?
No, serious, dude. Literally.
I mean, not to shock you.
not to shock you.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's
it
open
had,
that thing.
It had a little force on it, so that all of a sudden it's like, boom! Holy crap! What the hell is that?
Dude, you're a little bruised. Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
I
playing a
loved
game.
about
No,
that game was
it was a
it felt. If I'm going to be-
recoil adds a lot.
Yeah, if I'm going to be playing a shooter game in a like arcade setting or one, I already know it's a game. I'm not gonna go out and shoot people. But two, congratulations. You want to make me feel like I'm, this super amazing agent or whatnot? Give me something that actually makes me feel like I'm shooting that.
Take the YouTube. No, it won't be 2 years. I promise you.
So I kind of feel like at the point where we moved to the flat panel TVs, it more or less, let's say, killed light gun games total.
Well, yeah,
We had a drought because of Columbine, and there was a few after that. But then once we got to the panel, the technology changed completely, and I don't feel like, I mean, the sensor technology in that is completely different technology in that. So.
Right, but now it's gotten a whole lot better with the new VR.
Well, okay.
Oh, dude,
yeah, the
it's-
VR's
no.
pretty
We're
good.
skipping ahead a little bit.
I know
yeah,
that, but
all
all right,
kind of skipping.
I know.
Because and to be honest, I have the Move, and
The
I
move's
played
pretty good.
I played
The Wii
gun
sucks.
games.
The Wii sucks for gun.
light gun games
The Wii
on
sucks for gun games.
the light gun games
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
the Move. And it's
Any of the
not
late
bad.
games, just trust me.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's okay. So there's several ways of doing gun games after they've got away from CRTs with scan lines, where you knew the position of the scan line on the screen, so you knew where the position of the characters were. So in games like the Wii already had motion sensing capabilities, so it knows basically where you're pointing at on the screen at any given time. But the motion sensing is not
It
as
was
accurate.
not that great.
Is not as accurate as you'd think it was. It
It
feels
was-
accurate,
it
but they
like-
design games.
Like shake it to
Right,
adjust it.
they
You weren't
design
always
games
exactly
to do that.
pointing where
And the same goes with the PS3. The PS3 now came up with a system called Move. Now the PS2 still used, because they were still CRTs, you were still using this kind of like for the PS2. PS3 introduces something called Move. And Move basically is their answer to Wii Motion Control, where it has light sensing, literally a physical camera.
What's funny is now it's gone back the other way.
Yeah, where it's
Where
sensing
now
the
the
light
sensing
on
is
yours.
going
Right.
back towards the television or your target.
Right. So they have
Yeah.
They have a camera on that you put on top of your TV, and you had these red and blue sensors that it could track with the camera, so it knew your gun was pointed and where you were moving. But in all honesty, I
It
find
looked
those
bulbous and stupid.
and
but-
and the tracking wasn't all that good. I mean, it
was
really wasn't.
weaker. I think that
Compared to games like this,
this was stronger. This
Yeah.
was much stronger.
this gave
I-
you very great accuracy.
But the PS3 was, I think, much better at that than the Wii was.
Oh God, yes. The Wii
You know.
tracking sucked compared to the PS3 Move.
Compared
Now
to
here's
the
the thing:
Move, and it's
the
gonna,
Wii is doing some infrared X, Y, and Z sensing, whereas the PS3 is doing optical X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and then also
Where's
motion
this thing?
sensing.
Where's that thing?
Yeah,
Where's that
thank
thing?
you. Exactly.
And I will say that yes, I agree that the Wii sensor sucked because of a grand episode of when I was drunk off my ass playing Link's crossbow game.
Oh God, that was the worst.
Because you had the thing where friend actually had the rig.
Okay,
to put
so
it in.
if those of you who don't remember the Wii Link crossbow, it literally came with this rig that you put your Wii controller in that kind of gave you the feel of a crossbow.
Yeah. So therefore, you had the Wii mode up at the front, and then the nunchuck, as they put
Yep.
it, in the back to
For
move
movement.
yourself. It did not stop the movement of the gun to be looking around or motion on the screen. The nunchuck joystick was for moving your character. I was drunk out of my mind one night and decided, hey, I'm going to grab the gun as someone's handing it to me, whip it into my armpit, and start shooting that way. I scored a perfect score. I used one hand and an armpit.
Why did he go such a
Gonna
different
paint that
way
black?
with that?
So it looks like a real
I was
gun.
drunk playing Wii, and now it's 16 and life to go.
No. So therefore, that had to be some really bad sensors. If
They are really bad
I
sensors.
could be that wasted and that.
The Wii didn't really. It used a combination of tricks in the Wiimote and that giant stupid.
Let's not get into
retarded
Wii
bar.
bashing, because
No, I love the Wii.
respected it
Oh,
in many, many ways.
Oh, yeah.
And it introduced something we hadn't have, and it did
Inaccuracy.
bring motion sensor, which to the flat panel, which nothing else
Didn't
had.
have right.
Right, correct. They were the first
So
ones to do that.
And they were the first ones to do that. So God bless, and then we got much better stuff later. And but hey, thanks for starting.
Look at the chat.
Starting
The chat's
idea.
fucking awesome right now.
Yeah, no, look at GTB Core Chat because Vigigamer tipped us off to something that's going on. Let's start this out in the end here. Let's just wrap it up with this.
Yeah, we do need to kind of wrap up because I actually have to go.
Okay, so yeah, I know. So we need to all
I gotta
pitch in on
cook
it,
dinner.
Yeah.
obviously.
Like a year's salary.
Okay, so
Yes.
there appears to be a
Yeah,
Kickstarter to help out.
Duck Hunt.
Yes. Yeah, but it's everything, right?
I know. Yeah.
I would assume it's technology that would allow your flat panel to respect your gun.
I will read through it later. It's called the Modern Mallard.
I think it resyncs it. That's what it says.
13 hours to go. What? You could have told us about this earlier?
There's only 13 hours to go.
Only 13 hours to go. All right.
Okay, so I actually recommend.
And they aren't even close. Holy shit. Guess what? Don't bother. They're not going to make it.
No, we're posting it.
Just post it, but look at that. I'm sorry, they're really off, dude.
Hey, just get yourself a
that's 'cause nobody heard about
CRT and just keep winning
Yeah.
out.
All right.
And just dedicate it.
Wait a
okay?
minute. Oh, wait a minute.
I think it's
wait a minute.
enough respect.
Enough respect. Guys, if you are the guys from Modern Mallard, let's relaunch this again. Let's do this right, because you guys kind of missed the mark on this one. You need to
Yeah,
tell...
we never heard of you, is a
need
problem.
to tell people you're going to do stuff like this. We would love to give you some hype.
I'm a broke person.
Yeah, but even as broke people,
no,
we can
I'm
still
going-
advertise for
No,
you.
I'm saying I'm a broke person, but I'd still want this.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just like, I'd figure out a way to be like, here's my money.
Yeah.
It's the right idea.
The
It's
whole
It is the right idea.
It's
The
the right
whole meme
direction.
of shut up and take my money.
This is it.
Yes.
It's the right concept
Yeah.
to be able to get other games to play on a flat panel like some of the classics. Because I do find it frustrating that I keep about
And yes, did you
6
man,
to
we
8.
do.
I keep 6
Yeah.
to 8 CRT TVs just to be able to display these
Dude,
things.
I got a basement full of CRTs.
Because
literally.
if you haven't been out to one of our events, either at Now Your Parents' Basement or at
Midwest Gaming Classic.
Midwest Gaming Classic, we always bring out some light gun games because they're just not something you can do.
No, and they're so
Yeah.
amazing. They're just
They are. They're
the
super
experience
fun.
is so different.
And we bring it all on the bus. We bring all our equipment on the bus.
That's right.
Yes,
And
we
we
do.
just haul it right off
Yes,
the
we do.
bus,
Yeah.
right in there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what we're gonna say is we're gonna talk about this subject forever, all night. But you know what? We're not gonna talk about it all night because we have other things coming up.
That's
Rob.
right. We got Mech Day coming up this weekend. It's going to be Saturday. If you are
Okay, so
super
we're
interested,
live
you're
on
not
that?
in the inner circle of guys, games, and beerness, you should probably give us a shout out on Facebook, and we'll try and hook you up.
Yeah. So
if you're not too weird.
we are going to be doing a live stream.
Actually, definitely if you're weird.
We'll be doing a recorded show too, but we're going to do a live stream this weekend from Mech Day. This is our 7th Mech Day, Rob. Holy crap, 7th.
Hey,
Mech
what's
Day.
the featured movie this time?
Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
come on, dude.
I've not seen that movie.
Well, there you go.
I held
Well,
off
sadly,
it so
I
I could
I
watch
did too.
it
I
here
did
now.
too. So we can watch.
I haven't
Mech Day.
watched it
Sadly,
either.
I
Oh,
have-
good.
I have
So-
events that have come up that I will not be able to be there for.
For Mech Day?
Sadly, yes, because
Oh, you
yes.
suck.
Yes.
No, you suck, dude. We're doing a show. You sucked.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna put it out there right now.
Yeah, Benji
It's-
Gamer, if you start driving right now,
You can
brother,
make it.
You can
Vince
make it for
Gamer.
Mech Day.
You can make it. Look,
Just
George,
saying, dude.
George is coming up from Chicago. Just gonna put it out there right now.
Yeah, that's way closer.
So we will do some live streaming from Mech
Horse
Day.
driving up?
You know, I don't think so.
Oh.
Forrest, drive up. From so we're gonna be doing some.
Put you up.
We'll do some live streaming. We have some special guests who are going to be on the show on Saturday. We'll be recording a show for next week on Saturday as well. As you guys know, we are all about the large robots. Now go ahead and show it to the camera.
It's that one.
I don't even know
It's
what
that
camera
one.
it is.
Is it really?
No, it's that
It's been on that one way too long.
All right. So yeah, evidently I'm old, and
I didn't put your birth date on there.
I'm glad you
I know
didn't.
you don't even like me putting that
It's
as your
Tom's
birthday.
birthday, so everybody wish Tom a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tom!
Happy birthday!
Oh, he hates this.
and all
You
this,
know.
and I even came in on the show tonight. But I'm going to go and get some more booze because I haven't drank nearly enough for as old as I am. Oh wait a minute! I'm not happy. No, wait.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this.
So Rob got me a really nice gift, and I was going to save it till next day.
Well, really, no love for the cookie. Really, no love for the cookie.
I mean, I do love the cookie.
The cookie's
It's
beautiful.
Darlene baked that
The
herself.
cookie's beautiful, but
Yeah.
this is Jameson Castmates, and if you haven't had this, it's fucking awesome. So for my birthday, we should all take a shot, gentlemen.
Yeah, let's go.
Pass it around.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Larry's gonna be amazing this weekend.
It is going to be an amazing weekend.
He usually is
To
on
you,
that day.
sir.
Thank you,
I
sir.
do have a bottle of Ryan's from Ryan that I'm gonna bring. So, I'm gonna, so the first, you probably don't know that, but
wet your
the
lips.
first
Just wet your
Mech
lips.
Day,
Just to get that cast.
first Mech Day, I drank an
Isn't that
entire
amazing?
bottle.
The Castmates, by the way, if you guys haven't had
remember-
Castmates, so they make different types. There's ones that have been done in like
Irish
IPA
Cream.
barrels and stout barrels.
Yeah,
so
Irish
there's a whole
Cream.
series
Ryan's.
of these. They're
Oh,
really,
it's
really
Ryan's?
good.
Yeah.
So happy
And
birthday,
I got
all!
Ryan's from Ryan.
Take it easy, y'all. We will see you guys this weekend. We'll be doing a show.
Yeah, don't forget to catch out our friends. Catch out our friends. Catch out our friends.
And George is
Yeah, catch
George
them
is
all.
going to be on the
George's
show
gonna be there.
live this weekend.
So we're gonna, So don't forget to check out our friends at Lionheart Racing. You can check that out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Top right corner, there's a clicky the linky type of situation going on there, and it's safe to click
No, it's
because it
not.
will send you right there. No, the other links.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There's a choice.
All
They're
right.
both safe to click.
Yeah.
Ours are not. None of ours are.
Don't click on our links.
It's just whole. All right, so Facebook, www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. On Twitter, @guysgamesbeer.
Are you on the YouTube channel at all?
Do you have any? If you have
No,
any
I'm not monitoring
complaints,
that.
if you have any complaints,
Is there
or
something I should know?
People have been watching us for a long time.
if you have any complaints, please send them to our complaint department, Drunk Larry at guysgamesandbeer.net.
They all work.
Oh yeah! Thank you so much for watching
When no one
the
responds, it's still
podcast.
just Rob.
I know it is sometimes painful. And I hit the wrong damn button.
And we're out. Bye, all. Let up.
Hey, there's the right button. Now we're exiting.
What someone said.
Somebody was just like, "Geez, you look so thin now." Basically, it's like,
What?
so somebody's been watching the show for a long time, and evidently Larry looks very thin now compared
Larry,
to
you
old
lost a
Larry.
lot of weight.
Yeah, so it's like, wow.
Who said that?
I'll have
Digimon.
to try and
Digimon.
remember what
Dude, we should
company
go to
it was.
this.
But they
As a G2B
make,
thing. The Racine
they use
cardboard
bourbon barrels to
cold
make their
race and
stout,
regatta.
and then they decided to, hey, let's
giant
reuse
barrel.
those stout barrels to make.
We should have
it was either
A
bourbon or
bourbon?
whiskey.
See, either way would be fine.
It sounds like a
They
no-brainer.
just went, instead of having to buy or
Right.
get barrels from stout makers, they're just like, okay,
Right.
we'll just start reusing
So
the barrels.
you can actually in the when you use the